Hello again, Beasties. This is 64 Beastie Man once again bringing you another commentary. Back in the late 2000s to early 2010s, a game reviewer inspired by the angry video game nerd named Game Dude made a video reviewing Mickey Mousecapade for the NES. Jump forward to mid-2018, and a guy by the name of Drew Shadows decided to commentate on his review. Hop forward again to early 2019, and Nicholas E. Miranda made a commentary covering Drew Shadows, which was later on covered by a guy named AdultSwimIsEvil. And this commentary is going to be focused on him. Now I know what some of you are probably going to say. Didn't Doodle Tones already cover this guy in covering the entire degree chain back in 2019? Why are you commenting on his video over a year later? Well, after watching through Adult Swim's commentary again recently, I spotted some problems uncovered that I'm sure most people who watch this video aren't aware of, so I'm going to bring them up in this commentary. With that said, I'll be skipping the first couple minutes because there's not much to talk about there.
What's up everybody, this is Drew Shadows here, and today I'm going to do a commentary on...
Yeah, it's quite nitpick here, but... with that watermark.
Drew is a great YouTuber. He doesn't need watermark advice from you. Besides, watermarks are not added in on purpose or by the intention of the video maker. Sometimes he can't get rid of them even if he wanted to.
Okay, I can give you the benefit of the doubt and say that maybe Drew Shadows didn't want there to be a watermark in his video, but then there's ways that he can remove it in ABS. For example, if we take a look at Drew's video, you can see some text in the center that says that the video was created with a non-activated version of ABS, meaning that at the very least he would just need to activate it in order to deal with the watermark. And if that isn't enough to get rid of it, he can download ABS patch and run it in order to help the watermark go away. That way it doesn't come off as being distracting to some of his viewers who might want to watch him.
Yeah, that will get distracting since what is it doing on your avatar?
Well, I'm pretty confident that it wasn't his fault at all. Sure, a watermark can be very annoying to have in a video, but like I said, sometimes the video maker has no control over them. Besides, most of Drew's videos are usually made by filming himself with a camera. Kind of like a vlog, which is more appropriate to use a camera for instead of a commentary on some video.
Since I already covered the watermark portion, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the camera part you bring up, as it doesn't change the fact that in this particular video, Drew decided to use a Mickey Mouse avatar in a commentary. Yes, Drew does film himself with a camera in a vlog type style, but this point is completely unrelated to this particular video, as well as to the problem Nicholas has regarding his watermark. That'd be like if I were to make a video talking about how Denver omelets should be eaten with a bowl of lemon juice beside it, but then go off topic in discussing what silverware should be used to eat the omelets.
Oh, one tap. Oh, one tap's gonna kill me! I'm fucking legging it.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not a fan of Game Dude. I'm not. He's fucking annoying to me. So anyway, hope you guys enjoy this,
Okay, you said that we hope that we will enjoy your video a few times already.
Drew is the kind of guy who wants to make sure his audience is perfectly clear with understanding his video.
But Nicholas's point was that Drew was repeating the phrase, "I hope you enjoyed the video," more than what was necessary. And even in Drew's original video, his audience would have gotten the message by this point early on. So repeating it a few times for clarification would seem like he's repeating this wording over and over, and would thus lead to him padding out his video where he doesn't need to.
It's there for nothing!
Ever since they debuted in Plain Crazy, Mickey, who is a fucking asshole.
First off, let me just say this. Fuck you, dude, you're the asshole!
Wait a second. Didn't I already see the avatar? Don't tell me. He's gonna wear that. He's gonna just use just one pick.
Did I understand a goddamn word you just said? Hell no!
Really, I don't think it's gonna be this hard to find more than one pick of Mickey Mouse. And not only that, but wow, a no you argument.
Now that part I heard very clearly. All I have to say is, there is nothing wrong with using the same picture for Drew's Mickey Mouse avatar.
Your overall point here is fine enough, but I do take issue with what you stated within the first part of Nicholas's point about not being able to hear him when he was talking about Drew's Mickey Mouse avatar. Like, with what Drew himself did in saying, "I hope you enjoy" more than once in his opening statement, interjecting to say that you didn't understand what Nicholas is saying, only to then understand what he was saying afterwards, leads to a useless interjection and a nothing point. I know Nicholas tends to get really mumbly at certain points, and that's an issue I feel should be pointed out when it's appropriate, but this was not one of those times to do it, man.
Why weren't you at elf practice?
No, anyway, that part where his NES games are falling down, so that to me is a Vijay ripoff. And that's
Okay, we get this already. You're not the first one to point this out. This is another reason why you don't commentate on an overdone subject or dead topic. If there's nothing new you can bring to the table. In fact, other people have pointed out that he was ripped off AVGN, so yeah, this is not worth pointing out.
Maybe Drew didn't realize it had been done before. Maybe Drew had just recently discovered Gamer Dude's videos. Did you ever think about that? Huh, Nicholas? What I'm trying to say is, you can't expect everyone to know every single little thing about the world.
Was Nicholas really expecting that from Drew? Because from his wording, it seems like he's implying that Drew should have done some searching around on YouTube in order to find out that there are other YouTubers who have already called Game Dude an AVGN ripoff. Sure, Nicholas might not have known that Drew was new to Game Dude's content, and these hypotheticals you bring up could justify this, but at the end of the day, this seems like an attempt to try to excuse Drew for something he could have also known about ahead of time when making his video. Because if we're going to be arguing hypotheticals, then what if Drew was an avid watcher of Game Dude's videos before stumbling upon his Mickey Mousecapade video? What if he wanted to make his video on Game Dude for a while up to this point but didn't have the time to do it beforehand?
And Minnie have been amongst the greatest cartoon stars of all time. These lovable Disney icons built our childhood, but at the same time destroyed them with their shitty games. One of them being Mickey Mousecapade, amongst the most ignominiously annoying games I've ever played. Now you're probably wondering, how on earth can you go wrong with Mickey Mouse? Castle of Illusion is amazing.
Do you say that because it's, better graphics and 16-bit? If it is, then you're just a fucking graphic hoe, alright?
Again, this was already covered. And even if it's not just about the graphics, it is part of the game, so shouldn't it be worth complaining about?
Well, from what I got out of the original video, Gamer Dude was apparently complaining about the graphics in the game being less than 16-bit. I guess you could say Gamer Dude doesn't like games with lower graphics, which is just sad if you ask me. It's like he demands perfection.
Then again, who's to say that Game Dude's problem with the game is related to graphics? It could be the art style that Game Dude is focusing on based on what you and Drew Shadows bring up in counter to him saying that Castle of Illusions is a great game. And you know what? This point doesn't even hold any water when we find out later on in Game Dude's video that the graphics aren't even a main issue with him, but rather instead the gameplay, how monotonous things can get when trying to find things in level 1 to progress, and how Minnie Mouse actively works against the player when she dies as examples. Things we unfortunately don't get to see in your video.
Shark, Pog.
Okay, is this Mickey Mousecapade or Mickey Mouse? And why do they look like they're from the 1930s?
Two things. One, some video games can have misleading titles, and it's not that big of a deal because, it's still the same game, but it's just a misleading title. Nobody get all bitchy about it. And second, come a little closer, alright? Mickey Mouse was created in the 1930s!
Oh great, now Nicholas is getting off topic.
No, he's not getting off topic. He's pulling up the date from which one of the earliest Mickey Mouse cartoons was released in order to counter Drew's second point, the game dude, that Mickey Mouse was created in the 1930s.
Mickey Mouse was created in the 1930s!
And justify what it says right here. It was not made 1930s. It was obviously 1920s then. So yeah, wrong decade.
This point is also very funny, as you'll once again go on to counter what Nicholas is saying, which makes me wonder if you checked over what you said while editing this video together, or even watched Nicholas's video again to make sure that he was really going off topic.
Funhouse! Why is only one block of wood nailed to the pole? Are the others just floating? Why even have all the letters on 3 separate blocks of wood rather than one? Why is the O of 2 not capitalized? And how do Mickey and Minnie know the funhouse is east and not north? Directional signs without arrows point north by default. And fun? That's the biggest mistake of them all. Nothing about this house is fun.
Wow. Just wow. That's a lot of fucking information right there.
At least he's giving information.
You know what? This video is just getting fucking stupid. So I'm gonna skip to the end.
Hold on. You mean to tell me that you're not even going to cover Nicholas's point? Nearly 50 seconds of his video. All for nothing? All for nothing? Okay. I'm good. Anyways, Adult Swim, this has got to be the worst example of needless padding that I have seen from this video. If you truly had nothing to say at this point, then why didn't you just skip ahead towards the end of the video instead of wasting our time with a build-up to a potential point, only to then cock-block us with an unnecessary interjection?
It's there for nothing!
It would have been nice to have Donald, Daisy, Pluto, Goofy, Huey, Dewey, Louie, Scrooge, and Ludwig. Then again, they'd probably make them all follow your ass and call the fucking game Mickey Mouse Parade.
That's it. I rage quit. Holy shit, I can't even take him this serious. How many minutes? How many fucking minutes? 11 minutes? No, I can't. I'm sorry.
So, you left that time to get just to say you're done with the video.
Hey, I don't blame him.
At this point, I'm pretty much baffled as to how you're even okay with Drew Shadows padding out his video with footage from Game Dude's review just to say that he's done covering him. This just goes to show how lazy in editing he is with this particular point, because if he's not going to cover what Game Dude is saying, he could always end the commentary after his last interjection, meaning that Nicholas is correct in questioning Drew's question not to cover Game Dude further.
Okay, anyway, I'm ready here. Well, this video was just not good. Find more images, don't have that watermark, and don't comment on the Game Dude. There's nothing new you can bring to the table, and even if you do bring something new to the table, it still doesn't change the fact that he doesn't make videos anymore.
Wow, this seems like a direct attack towards Drew. No wonder he's on Cartoon Network's watch list.
Explain to me in what capacity Nicholas was attacking Drew's shadows. Yes, his final thoughts can be seen as destructive, where he says to not cover Game Dude, thus restricting Drew on what he can cover, but given his rationale earlier on in the video where he mentions that Game Dude is a dead topic, one can also make the inference that he's suggesting that Drew needs to find some new videos to cover, instead of just hopping on a bandwagon that died out long ago. Outside of that, his direct critiques of finding a way to remove the watermark in ABS and finding more than one pic of Mickey Mouse aren't attacking him in any way, as they're merely suggestions Drew can use to better any commentary videos he makes in the future. AdultSwimIsEvil then goes on to end the video with a skit about how Nicholas E. Miranda is part of Adult Swim, and that's where the video ends. Now, Adult Swim. I get that you're playing a character, but if we take that aspect out of the equation and focus on just your commentary, it was not good, to put it lightly. From unnecessarily padding out your video with useless interjections, to not having a modicum of understanding about how ABS watermarks work, and especially when you play out a lengthy section of Nicholas's video only to disregard it and skip further ahead in the video, it's no wonder why Nicholas E. Miranda stated your video did nothing to sway his opinion about how his commentary holds up. Which is honestly a shame, as you did make some decent points, both at face value and on general principle, showing that there is potential for a good commentary. Personally, what I'd recommend you do in the future, if you ever decide to make another commentary, is to cut down on the needless fluff, do a bit of research into the video makers people use should watermarks be brought up in the videos covering them, and allow for context to play out in full before making points that add nothing to the conversation, because that will allow for you to make good arguments without having to waste at least 5 seconds in the video with an unneeded interjection. Anyways, that's all for today folks, so until next time, this is 64 Beastie Man, beasting out.